guys, let me give you a brief introduction like what we are going to talk about. Okay, तो आप इस लाइव सेशन को पूरा देखना, आपको काफ़ी कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा. तो गाइस, सबसे पहले आप मुझको ये बताओ कि आर यू गाइस एक्साइटेड और नॉट? ओके गाइस, सो मेक श्योर जो भी आपको क्वेश्चंस है वो आप अपने कमेंट बॉक्स में पुट करना. मैं वन बाय वन क्वेश्चंस पुट अप करूंगा अश्विन से. ओके, उसके साथ ही मैं आपको थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ बता देता हूँ कि हम क्या क्या डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. तो सबसे पहले, who is Ashwin? Okay, so let me give you a brief introduction about him. Like, so currently he is working in Cisco as a QA manager, and he has around 14 plus years of experience in the QA automation. Okay, so this session is going to be very very interactive. Also, we are going to discuss about one question. Like, Ashwin has given interviews in many FANG companies, so Ashwin will share his experience, like what kind of questions were asked by him in the Google. Okay, so we will ask him. Apart from that, one more question we will ask. Okay, although there are many questions which we will ask, but one question is like, can a QA professional make 50 LPA? लाइक सैलरी का लेके सबको रहता है ना यार कि क्यूए को कम सैलरी मिलती है, ऐसा मार्केट में बोला जाता है. तो ये बात कितनी सच है, हम ये जानने की कोशिश करेंगे अश्विन से. ओके, और साथ ही साथ हम ये भी जानेंगे, एक टूल चल रहा है प्ले राइट. काफ़ी सारे लिंक्डइन पे आपने पोस्ट भी देखे होंगे, विल प्ले राइट रिप्लेस सेलेनियम और नॉट. ओके, तो इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आपको देखने को मिलेंगे. साथ ही साथ मैं एक चीज़ और बताऊंगा आपको कि हम जो भी क्वेश्चंस आप पुटअप करोगे, मैं उसको अपने लाइव पे अश्विन से पूछने वाला हूँ. तो अगर आपको कोई भी क्वेरी है टेस्टिंग से रिलेटेड, टेस्टिंग में करियर कैसे बनाते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली यू कैन पुट अप योर क्वेश्चंस देयर. ओके, सो लेट मी वेलकम अश्विन. हाय अश्विन, हाउ आर यू?
Yes, Amit. Thank you for inviting me. I'm good. How are you doing today?
आई एम ऑल्सो गुड. सो अश्विन, अभी आप कहाँ पे हो, हैदराबाद में हो या फिर पुणे?
I'm in Hyderabad. I'm in Hyderabad. Yeah.
ओह ओके, सो हाउ इज द वेदर एट योर प्लेस?
It's okay. Evening, it starts to get cold. Otherwise, it's okay. But at times, like it's very cold. Like you cannot just step out. Yeah.
ओके ओके, लाइक यू नीड टू पुट अप सम जैकेट देन यू विल ओनली गेट
Absolutely.
आउट.
Yeah. 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 Even though like
तो
temperatures like 15, 12, but still, it's very cold outside. At times, not always. Yeah.
ओह, so Ashwin, like I already know that many people who are watching this session already know you as you are a very popular face on the LinkedIn. But
Thank
still,
you.
the people who are watching this podcast for the first time, so for them, can you please explain? Can you please give me a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. A very good evening to everybody in the audience. Ashwin here. I have 14 plus years of experience, currently working as a QA leader in Cisco.
Mm-hmm.
Started off my career in Cognizant as a test engineer, then served there like for 11 years, then moved a few companies, and right now I'm in Cisco. I worked in the US and the UK for various companies, and I'm happy to be a QA professional.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I have a few members to take care of, so enjoying my daily work. Yeah.
Oh, nice. तो अश्विन, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि जैसे अभी यू हैव अराउंड 14 प्लस इयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस. सो लाइक इज इट लाइक कि इन द कॉलेज डेज इटसेल्फ यू डिसाइडेड कि ना आई विल बी ए क्यूए पर्सन, और इट्स लाइक बाय चांस?
It's by chance, to be frank, because I graduated as a mechanical engineer and Cognizant was my first company in the campus recruitment. So
Mm-hmm.
I attended it, I got placed, and then I started my career. So I had an
Mm-hmm.
initial thought like, okay, if this doesn't go well, maybe I'll switch my career and go back to my core field. But
Mm-hmm.
luckily, I love the profession, so I'm here now, till now.
Oh, okay. So like what was your first company? Like, can you tell me like how you got started? Like,
Yeah.
did you get the automation work directly or like started from manual?
So I started as a manual test engineer. So I started my career with Cognizant Technology Solutions. It's
Mm-hmm.
a IT service company, and
Mm-hmm.
I got into Cognizant via campus placement.
Mm-hmm.
So and I started off as a manual test engineer. Like I started my career in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and at that point of time, like a lot of my senior members, like who were 6 or 7 years of experience at that point of time in 2010, were using QTP, and that was automation was like a niche skill at that point of time. Like if
Oh,
you're an automation user, then you stand somewhere else. Like you cannot touch them like that. So when I
I
used
am
to like see
also
like
okay.
yeah,
I am
no,
also
please go
aware
ahead.
about QTP, right? So I think it's not like many of the people don't use it, I think, as of now. I believe.
As
What do
of
you
now,
think about it? Because I
uh,
think it's a
uh,
paid tool, right?
absolutely, it's a paid tool,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
prominently like not used till now in the current market. So I'm telling about like 15 or 14 years back. At
Oh,
that point, QTP was the only tool. like in my company or my project. And then in 2013, I started doing some automation. I
Oh.
wanted to one of my colleague who was he's now a prominent developer. He was a Q engineer and excellent automation engineer, but now he moved to a development background. So
Mm-hmm.
he used to tell me like he is my guide ideally. He used to tell me like what I have to go forward. His name is
Mm-hmm.
Nitin. So he always tells me like you have to always go with technology, otherwise you'll be
Mm-hmm.
behind. So then, like 2013, I started into automation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and after that, I tried to learn whatever came into my way. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Got a chance to work with a few languages like JavaScript, Java, Python, a few
Oh.
tools like Selenium, Puppeteer, Cypress,
Oh.
Playwright, yeah, like that. So
Is
what
there
my
any tool you have not done? Is there any tool till now?
there are a lot of tools. I don't think these are the only five tools available in the market. There are a number of other tools. So, but these are the ones which I got to work with. So,
Like,
पता नहीं,
you, I think how many companies you worked on till now? Like,
This is a sixth company. So
uh,
I start off with Cognizant, as I said, was there for like
oh,
10.5 years, and then moved to UK. I worked in two companies there in the UK, William Hill and Costa Coffee. Then moved back to India, then resumed in UST Technologies. Then I worked with Air India, a great company, a great place to work, Air India. And then after that, I got in
mhm.
here in Cisco. Yeah.
So, Ashwin, one question here. Like you mentioned
Yes.
that you started your career with the Cognizant, right? So
Correct.
currently you are working at Cisco as a in the product-based company, but as you started, you worked in the service-based company. So
Correct.
what are the differences you saw, like in the testing department I am talking about, like service-based में ये अच्छा था, product-based में ये अच्छा था. So according to you, what is your take?
So it's not like क्या अच्छा था ऐसा नहीं बोलूंगा, but the work culture is completely different in service based company. Like you work for a client, so ideally like that according to the client you have to work. Like what the client needs is what you are working
Mm-hmm.
on, like on a day to day basis.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, like when I came to product, like we have our own product and it's our responsibility to get the product to the best shape. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody is in the same mission. But in,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, in service-based companies, like everything is like depend on the client's time. Like client gives the
Oh.
requirements, they set the timeline. We have to work for them. So ideally, we work for a particular person and to fulfill that person's wish or like that client's wish. But here it's like we have to fulfill our company's wish, like the company for which we work for. The product that we work for has to come out like the best. So we have to work towards that.
Uh,
So I say that's what I would say as a like one liner or two liner. Yeah.
So it's like you mean like in service based company we are bound to work as per the client needs, but in product based company we are flexible. Like we can give
Yeah.
suggestions what to improve. It's not like client will always say that hey you need to do this. I am expecting this.
Not really, because in in client-based companies, you have a choice to talk what like and give suggestions, but it all depends on your budget and timelines. So,
Uh,
if the proposal have like enough time and budget to allocate whatever you're trying to do,
mhm,
of course, people will accept. And I have seen really great clients who like are very much open to acceptance. Really,
mhm,
really great clients. So it's not like that in client-based jobs you cannot have like you have a restriction, no, but
mhm,
that's what I found as a difference when you ask me, yeah, but
mhm,
not nothing else. And one more thing about client-based companies, like you get to work with different clients in different industrial practices. Like you can work with insurance clients, pharma clients, healthcare clients, automobile clients. So you have a wide
mhm,
variety of clients to work in, and you get to know a lot of domains. So that is also one
mhm,
great thing. So people who are like ideally working as business analysts and all, like they'll get a wide range of exposure.
mhm,
That's what I have seen. Again, technology also it stands the
mhm,
same. फिर भी like product company में तो अपना domain और अपना product is always like standing the same. पर क्लाइंट बेस्ड कंपनी तो आप हर प्रोजेक्ट के बाद आप स्विच करोगे और यू माइट गेट डिफरेंट क्लाइंट और अ डिफरेंट
mhm.
इंडस्ट्रियल प्रैक्टिस इवन सो दैट्स वन मोर थिंग या
So as we discussed about product based companies, so I will ask one question like
यस प्लीज
which everyone wants to know. Like
या
DSA required है कि नहीं है product based company के
डीएसए
लिए?
रिक्वायर्ड है
How much,
डीएसए
like
इज वेरी
if you
मच
can?
सॉरी
How much is it? It's required like very hard level, or it's like medium कर
नो
लो, that
नो
then it's fine.
No, I would say easy level questions are for needed for sure, like for
Mhm,
every tier until tier two companies. In tier one companies, एक अगर आपका requirement like थोड़ा भारी technical है, तो medium level
mhm.
questions भी आपको expect करना चाहिए.
Like
That's what
suppose
ideally.
if I'm targeting your company, okay, if I'm targeting Cisco, So
Mhm.
they might ask DSA questions, I believe, because it's a product based company. So le- can you tell us, can you tell everyone like how to prepare, where to prepare for DSA?
So preparation for DSA is a step-by-step process. So I
Hmm.
would the very first thing I would like to say to everybody is like अपना foundation should be super strong.
Hmm.
फाउंडेशंस
Okay.
को एकदम बेस्ट बनाओ, उसके बाद ही आप नेक्स्ट लेवल पे जाओ, नहीं तो
Hmm.
यू विल गेट स्टक एट सम प्लेस. तो
Like
अगर
Mhm.
लीड कोड में देखो तो सॉरी सॉरी सुमित प्लीज गो ऑन.
No, no, please you continue.
या
I have many questions I will ask.
नो नो
Yeah.
नो वी हैव इनफ टाइम सो या.
Yeah.
तो तो पहले लाइक आप लीड कोड अगेन द बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म एवरीबॉडी सजेस्ट. सो अगेन हैकर
Hmm.
रैंक इज आल्सो देयर, बट इन लीड कोड वी कैन गेट अ फ्यू मोर क्वेश्चन. सो लीड कोड पे जाओ, आप इजी लेवल क्वेश्चन से स्टार्ट करो.
Okay.
द वेरी फर्स्ट लाइक आई वुड से लाइक प्रिंट हेलो वर्ल्ड से स्टार्ट करो.
Print
उसके
hello
बाद आप
world.
लूप पे जाओ. नो, जस्ट टेलिंग एन एग्जांपल. फिर लूप
Yeah.
पे जाओ, इफ एल्स पे जाओ, पैलिंड्रोम्स पे जाओ, सबस्ट्रिंग्स पे जाओ, एक एक करके
Yeah.
जस्ट डू वन एट अ टाइम. पहले
Oh,
आप अपना
okay.
ब्रूट फोर्स सॉल्यूशन डालो. अगर इफ
Hmm.
इट्स कमिंग करेक्ट देन ओनली गो
Hmm.
टू द ऑप्टिमल सॉल्यूशन. डोंट
Hmm.
एवर थिंक दैट ओके आई विल जस्ट ब्रिंग द ऑप्टिमल सॉल्यूशन लाइक दैट नोबडी हैज एवर ब्रॉट इन. नो, पहले ब्रूट
Hmm.
फोर्स पे जाओ, उसके बाद आप अपना ऑप्टिमल सॉल्यूशन इंप्लीमेंट करो. Then only you get to know like what was your first solution and what is that new solution, where is that gap between, because that gap ideally makes you better than every other candidate.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
I
that's
think
what we.
many. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Please
please.
go ahead.
No, no,
Okay.
Ashwin, you please continue. I will. Yeah.
Yeah, so uske baad like when that easy level questions, like even you are comfortable like solving a lot of easy level questions, then you can start taking medium level questions.
Hmm.
Why?
Okay.
Because you will get a you already will build, you have a confidence that I have
Hmm.
solved this many easy number of questions, so I'll be able to like that. What I
Hmm.
saw a lot of people is like lot of people क्या करते हैं कि directly वो लोग वो medium level question पे जाता है, उस पे अटक जाते हैं,
Hmm.
हफ्ते रहते हैं वो solve करने के लिए, and they get depressed and they get disheartened.
Yeah, it
So ऐसा
happens.
नहीं है. तो छोटा छोटा स्टेप ले लो,
हाँ.
कंप्लीट करो अपना, वो लीड कोड प्रोफाइल बिल्ड बिल्ड करो, उसके
हाँ.
बाद जाओ मीडियम लेवल पे, एंड
वो
दैट
बोलते
शुड
हैं
बी
ना, एक कहावत है एक हिंदी में कि बूंद बूंद से घड़ा बढ़ता है. मतलब वो चीज फॉलो करो,
एब्सोल्युटली.
स्टेप बाय स्टेप चलो. डायरेक्ट हार्ड वाले क्वेश्चंस पे चले जाओगे तो फिर यू विल बी डिप्रेस्ड.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because you cannot do it like unless and until your foundations are not strong, you cannot go on top of it. Yeah,
So, Ashwin, I saw your LinkedIn post, I think few weeks
yeah.
back, where you posted your Google interview experience as a QA
Right,
person, right? So,
correct.
I want to know in detail, like, what are the, like, how you, first of all, how you get, मतलब आपको chance कैसे मिला? How recruiter reached out to you? So, one is that, and second is like, what are the steps of round happened with you in the Google? Can you explain?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So, to 2023 April, that was the time when I got a call. So I
Mm-hmm.
had applied for a few roles, and senior test engineer role के लिए मुझे बुलाया था. रिक्रूटर ने डायरेक्टली लिंक्डइन पे मुझे रीच आउट किया, और उन्होंने
Mm-hmm.
मुझसे बात की और बोला कि ऐसा एक रिक्वायरमेंट है, गूगल लाइक टू टेक एन इंटरव्यू विथ यू. तो उन्होंने, one good thing about Google is that they'll give you the time to prepare. You can tell like how much time you want. They'll give you
Oh,
the time
okay.
to prepare. Yeah, if you
Mm-hmm.
take 3 weeks, take the 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
वो आप ले कर सकते हैं.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So the next thing is like take your time, and they'll give you an entire email. What actually people like, what Google wants from you. Like they'll tell like this is what Google wants from you, and you can just go through that. And
Mm-hmm.
that includes like all your interview like preparation guide, like how to prepare interview for Google, because they do it special. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
be special.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way. So I took some time for me, and I prepared, and then I had a round first. Like obviously that got cleared. Then I got 5 consecutive rounds scheduled
Mm-hmm.
within a gap of 2 to 3 days. Like each round, like after one round one, then it's like after 2 days the next, like that. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing is like, even if in any of your rounds, if you're not clearing or getting up to the mark, that's a knockout.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to go until like that 5 rounds.
Oh,
But
okay.
even after that, I got an email like, okay,
Oh.
you are not selected for the next set of process. So I just
Oh.
left it.
Oh.
To talk about the interview experience, coding, very, very much important.
Mhm.
So there were 3 rounds literally where I was asked to code, purely coding. It
Purely,
includes
okay.
like the data structure and all those things. So,
Okay.
and 2 rounds were like purely scenario based. Like they'll get to know like how you are a person as a test engineer. So
Mhm.
they will deep dive
So is there
to the
any
code.
particular automation tool they want, like कि यार ये वाला tool
No,
they want?
no,
Is it?
no,
No.
no. So as I understand, Google looks like you as a professional, as a problem solver, not like you have to be competent on that tool. That's why even they give the liberty to code in any language of your choice. They don't have a preference. You can code in any language. It could be Python, Java, any language.
Oh,
But
okay.
you want them to, like, they want you to solve the question in the best way
Mhm.
and approach the solution in the given time. That's what they
Like
want.
I
So
think
you are
they are much concerned about time complexity. If I talk about maybe
yeah. See,
whatever the
ideally they
solution was.
want the best solution of it. The best
Oh,
solution is
okay.
what they are looking for.
Mhm.
So obviously
So
time
are there
complexity and
Mhm.
space complexity is needed. Sorry, yeah, please.
So are there any behavioral questions as well, like you faced in
Yeah,
the Google?
yeah. In two rounds, that is purely behavioral, like mostly on test scenario and live
Mhm.
scenario, practical based questions. And when you hear the questions, you will feel it's very simple to answer, but don't jump
Mhm.
in. You have to
Mhm.
think a lot, and there will
Oh.
be you have to think a lot. Then only you can just get into that answer.
Mhm.
And if you directly jump into the answer, then I think that's a not a good
Mhm.
thing, I would say, because that question will be very open ended. You have to fill the gaps,
Mhm.
and then only you can approach the answer, because that's what they want, like how
Mhm.
proficient you are in thought process, like how creative you are, like how much do you think about it,
Mhm.
because that's what you do as a quality engineer. Like you have to think about the
Mhm.
product, like what are the boundaries and everything. Yeah.
So let us pick a few questions from the audience side. So Shubhangi is asking like how to think exceptionally out of the box during testing.
Okay. So ideally, as QA engineers, I have said to few people here, like we are the people who like to, or like who get the chance to think like the customers. So
Mhm.
just think what your customer will do when they get this product.
Mhm.
It's not like they don't have the requirement document with them, right? They do
Mhm.
what they want to do.
Mhm.
Think in that angle and test it. You will get something new for sure. I have experienced it.
Customer
So that's
customer will always complain like product is not working fine.
yeah, because see, we build a product for the customer, right? So we need to know
Mhm.
what the customer ideally wants from that product. So we have to think
Mhm.
in that way. Then only we can get the best quality. Correct.
Mhm.
So any customer, they don't know what's the technology behind it. They don't know what platform you have built it. They are looking for some output from the product. Like they need
Mhm.
something from the product. If they don't get it, they'll tell, sorry,
Mhm.
it's not coming to my expectations. So ideally think
Mhm.
like the customer, because it's all about product quality. It's just not
Mhm.
about quality, it's about product quality, what the customer wants. We have to build
Mhm.
products towards customer excellence, because if your customer is not happy with the product, there's no point with that product. Nobody is
Mhm.
going to accept it. That's what actually the best products in the world is all about, right? Customers are accepting it. So
Mhm.
we need to think in the angle of a customer, like, or the customers who are going
Mhm.
to use it. It's
Mhm.
like not just like the customer's viewpoint, like in what all devices they are going to use, in what all situations they are going to use, like what are the
Mhm.
traffic they'll be putting in that particular product, like how
Mhm.
much time, all those things, everything you have to consider. Then only you can
Mhm.
get the best out of the product quality, or like then only you can
Mhm.
build great test cases, I would say.
Mhm.
Because requirements, because along with requirements, the product will work good, because that's how the
Mhm.
developers also code, right? But
Mhm.
you have to break the system, then you have to think different,
Mhm.
as like the
So,
customer.
okay. So, Ashwin, one question I have like we have seen like in the market there are hundreds of tools, automation tools. Like popular
True,
one, if I say like Selenium is there, Playwright is there, Cypress there, right? And few automation tools are also there. So,
right?
suppose if there is one fresher guy, okay, he's just starting learning the automation testing. So, which tool you will recommend him to start with?
To start off with, I would recommend Selenium. The
Mm-hmm.
reason being, don't get offended others. It's because like Selenium is a very popular tool in the market for like 2 decades. Very
Uh-huh.
wide community, lot of tutorials to start with. So
Mm-hmm.
Selenium is a very great tool to start with, along with Java. That's the much more accepted combo in the market. Java Selenium has become
Mm-hmm.
a word or a keyword in today's automation world, and Selenium has been ruling the automation for a while now. So to start off with, that's the best thing. But I would recommend that person not to stick with Selenium. Understand the concepts, like what is Selenium and what does Selenium do.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very much important. So
So,
then you
Ashwin,
can like use the tool. Yeah, please. Sorry.
so I have seen, like Ashwin, these days what companies saying, like when I was giving an interview, so you must have that experience as well. I know, like when you were giving interview like 14 years back, so companies majorly ask candidate, hey, you know Selenium well or not? If they know the
Yeah.
Selenium, if they know the Selenium tool, interview will be conducted and he will be selected. But what I am seeing in the market right now, that they are expecting everything. Like they are expecting DevOps, Azure, AWS, some all the three programming languages they are also expecting. I'm not talking about every company, but there are many companies which are doing it. So what is your like thoughts on that? Is it necessary, or it's like what do you think about that?
So it depends on two things. One is that company and your experience.
Hmm.
Ideally, like when you climb up the ladder in your professional journey,
Hmm.
you have to be a problem solver, not just a Selenium
Hmm.
expert or a Java expert or
Hmm.
a DevOps expert. No, you have to be a problem solver. So whatever problems come to you, like from the
Hmm.
team that you're working with, or like the person who reports to you, or like even who is sitting on top of you, you should be able to
Hmm.
solve that problem. So what
Hmm.
all you require to solve that problem,
Hmm.
you should know it.
Okay.
Correct.
So I got one more question. Can you please suggest any certifications for 13 plus QA automation engineers?
Certifications, I am personally not a fan of certifications because
Mhm.
even though if you have certifications, you need to like excel the interview a lot.
Mhm.
So certifications can actually take you to an interview, but to get into the company, you need to be you need to be well what to say skilled in that particular tool. So I would recommend
Mhm.
don't go beyond the certifications. Better
Mhm.
be a successful or excellent guy in that. So, but yes, I have taken a few certifications. I have taken Python and problem solving. So, what I would recommend is one programming language certification. If you can do that, would be great. But
Mhm.
again, make sure that you get skilled, completely skilled in that programming language because when you show a certificate, that means that you are an excellent person in that. So you have
Mhm.
to go deep into that. Then only you can
Mhm.
get into because that's actually a tagline for you. So
Mhm.
one language is good, and a problem solving certificate also if you can take that also would be great.
Mhm. So for that certification, I remember one thing. Like if I talk about Selenium, I will not take any company name, but else they will reach out to me that why you are taking my name.
Yeah,
But I have
yeah,
seen there is one Selenium certification. Many third-party companies are doing it, but the
right.
Selenium official website mentioned that there is no Selenium official certification. So I think that no one should do any Selenium certification because it's of no use, right? It's just
Mhm.
they are like if you do from Udemy, right? So people think,
Yeah.
can I do Udemy certification? But I think so. Ashwin, according to you, like what do you think? Does Udemy certifications matter in our resume?
Certifications do matter
Mm-hmm.
to an extent. I'm not sure about like every other company because every other company will interview you. Like they have
Yeah.
skilled people who will
Mm-hmm.
interview you, who will push your bars. Then only they will reach a decision. So certifications could actually help you to reach to an interview maybe like 10 or 20% faster. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure completely. But
Mm-hmm.
as I said, you have to be skilled in that. So if you have a certification, you have to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
you're completely skilled in that because that's what certification all about. It's or else it will come back as a boomerang. Hope
I
you got
what
my
I have
point.
seen,
Yeah.
like I never.
Yeah.
By the way, I have not done any certification because I believe the
Yeah.
same as you. Like knowledge should be the first one priority.
Right.
But I
Right.
have seen, but I feel that the more certifications you will put on your resume, the more tougher will be the interview.
Absolutely. When you say you're certified, that means you know every corner of it.
Yeah.
Right. You are telling me I know every corner of it of that
Mm,
particular tool or technology that's available in the market.
mm,
I have hit
mm.
everything, and you should be able to answer everything.
Mhm.
That's what people expect, right? Yeah. That's what
So
actually people expect. So that you have to have. There is no compromise in that.
I got one more certification knowledge. Yeah, there is one certification which is ISTQB. So there is a
Yeah.
like debate. I want to ask from the Ashwin only that should we do ISTQB certification? Is there any like weightage in our resume for ISTQB? What do you think?
So I had did this certification like 10 years before, like because my employer wants to, or like my particular project
Oh,
manager want me to do it. It was a criteria at
mhm.
that point of time.
Okay.
But now it's purely skill based. If you are skilled enough, there is no need of a certification. Is what I believe. Not again that decision might be different from everybody else perspective, but
Mhm.
I for me it all matters like how you are like how much you are skilled enough is what
Like
matters
in coding
to me.
part, maybe you are saying coding
Not even
part.
coding part, not even
Okay.
coding part. Like you have,
Huh?
so okay, you are. there is a job description, and we are interviewing, or like you are interviewing somebody, you should know whether that person will fit in for that particular job to be done. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about coding. It's about thinking, creative thought process, problem solving. Uh, what is it? Team GL process. Like how good you are in a team. There are a lot of factors. It's not just about coding, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
if I would say like you got a person like excellently great in coding, but that person is not great to be within a team, then that person won't fit in your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be very much sinking into the team also, like which you are joining. So you have to be a great team player, or if you're acting as a leader, you have to be a great team leader. So there are a lot of factors. It's not just about
Mm-hmm.
coding. It's like as a complete package. As a
Mm-hmm.
professional, you have to be in sync or in par with what is actually being asked in the job. Is what
Mm-hmm.
I think.
So we are getting many questions, and one of the question is this. I have
Yep.
a question like I have more than 12 years of experience and I was a developer in the first 6 years and now I'm in
Mm-hmm.
the automation space. Okay. I tried
Mm-hmm.
applying to multiple profiles in LinkedIn. What would be the salary range for 12 years? Okay. I am earning
Okay.
26L basic with 2 bonus. I have worked in Selenium for 2 years. Maybe we can also cover one more interview question
Please.
on this. Give me a second.
Sure.
Uh,
Please.
so you can, guys, you can see both the questions. Like it's very much similar. So I thought we can take this question here only. So Ashwin, what do you think about this?
Very much. Very much. You can. Because I know people personally. So
Huh.
I won't tell in which company, what sort of experience, but you can definitely make more than that. That's for sure.
Like
So
what I
if you
have
want
seen.
to give me a number, sorry. So if you want to
No,
give a
no,
number,
please.
I have seen people at 6 and 8 years of experience making 30 LPA.
Huh. Okay.
So obviously, then if you go 10 or 12 years, you can get it.
So I what I have
It
seen like whenever you see na like whenever there is a debate between the QA as well as the developer, I used to hear this question a lot. Like if I talk about the QA journey, like you will not be going to make much salary than the developer. Is it true according to you?
that's the correct answer.
Okay.
Of course, yes. Like developers get more. Like see, it's very simple. What I would say is like a 12-year experienced developer in a top tier work company and a 12-year experienced QA engineer in that same company. The
Mhm.
salaries I would say like for developer will be high, is what
Oh.
I personally feel. But that doesn't mean that the QA person salary will be way low. That
Mhm.
person will be also paying a decent number for sure,
Mhm.
and that person should be happy with that number. I know that personally, right? Because I think
Mhm.
it's just not because like QA is not like a job that has lower
Mhm.
standard or like that. No, but that is how the trend goes in, right? Because not developer like when you actually are at the 12-year experience development means you are acting as an architect. The
Yeah.
entire platform is you have built it, or
Mhm.
it's going on your command. So obviously
Mhm.
you'll be getting more package on it,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
QA is just part of that job, like as like DevOps, like or an SRE, whatever. The developer person is the person who builds the platform. It runs on his command, so obviously he'll be paid more. It's fine. But again,
But it.
just to add that
Mhm.
question, one more
Yeah,
thing.
please.
Sorry.
Please, no, no,
So
please.
because there are a lot of CEOs in this world, right? But a few CEOs are paid in like very big number. Why?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the other CEOs are not that great. No, it all depends on like what they bring into the table, or like what they do to the market,
Mhm.
or what they do to the organization. So it depends on that only.
But
Yeah.
one thing is clear, like you mentioned, QA can touch 50 LPA package.
Very much, very
Yes.
much, very
More than
much.
that as well, you mentioned.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. Very simple. Just go to levels.fii and see the numbers.
Which which
You will get
website? Sorry.
it's levels.fii. Levels levels dot fii. There
Okay.
they'll show the salary range of like what people have reported. So again, a
So
professional community.
I
Yeah.
think this one we are talking about LEVELS dot.
Let me type in if you need.
Yeah. Let me show it to the audience, else they will forget.
Yeah. It's LEV. Okay, okay? I have just typed it. Yeah,
Levels dot FYI. So can you
yeah.
explain us a bit like what I'm hearing this for the first time actually?
Okay. So if
Mm-hmm.
you want to know what is the pay a company gives in a particular country for a particular role, you can get that. You can get an average range
Mm-hmm.
in this
Is
website,
it similar to
and
Glassdoor?
A bit more advanced, because in that
Mhm.
company, in that particular website, it will show like what is like maybe an alpha engineer in Amazon. How is it compared with an alpha, like in what grade in Google? You can compare the
Mhm.
companies grades also.
Mhm.
Like what is, like when you say an alpha engineer in Amazon, what is it in Microsoft? What is it in Google, like that? So it's all about
Mhm.
they are all based on people input, like professional inputs. So
Mhm.
developers.fi is a great place to know like what is actually provided by
Mhm.
great companies or like every other company in the
Mhm.
market for so and so position and so
Mhm.
experience. Yeah.
So I got one more question. This is a good question. At 45 plus years, is there any still opportunity in IT, or does age matter more than skill? What do you think?
So because I know people who are working in the IT like 50 plus. So
Oh,
I don't think that I think that's the answer I would say. It's all about
are,
like see when so if you go up if you climb up the ladder, right, you have to be a great problem solver. You have to be a great
mm,
leader and a problem solver. And if you're
mm,
able to solve all the problems coming to your way, and if
mm,
you're able to take up your organization to the next level, there's always a
mm.
chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like so the people you mentioned they are working in the IT. So I believe they are not doing coding after 45 plus years, or is it?
So I would say the coding part into three. I would split into three parts. The very
Mm-hmm.
first stage of your early stage of career is like you do coding. Like somebody else will tell you like what you have to code, and you code that.
Mm-hmm.
A later point of time, you review code, and the
Mm-hmm.
next stage is like you tell others what to code. So when you reach that point of time, that is what actually you act as a leader, because
Mm-hmm.
you tell like how you have to code, what you have to code, how
Mm-hmm.
should this be, how should that be. And if you are in that stage, I
Mm-hmm.
think then you are emerging as a leader, and you provide solutions. Literally, you tell like this is the solution for this kind of problem, and
Mm-hmm.
then this is how you have to take it forward. But then there will be people who will be reporting to you, code to you as well. So you actually, as I said,
Mm-hmm.
you will command the process, or you will command that
Mm-hmm.
particular journey. So when you command the journey, you are the leader, and that's what actually leaders do. Yeah.
So one more question. Getting into QA as freshers, it's always mandatory to have DSA in 2025.
It's great to have DSA because that is an added bonus. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have DSA, you can get calls and you can clear interviews from great companies. But
Okay.
not for every company DSA matters. But if you're aiming for the top tech giants in the industry, if you have DSA, you will get through very easily.
I think in service-based company they don't ask DSA. Till now, no one asked me DSA. I've given in service-based every time. No one asking me
But
DSA.
but when you're like a 10 to 12 year, like 12 plus years of experience, and if the interviewing person is a great tech guy,
Hmm.
that person might ask.
Like you, right?
Not, I cannot say what I would ask in interview. Sorry.
Maybe you can tell me before. If I give in Cisco, then maybe.
Of course not. Just kidding. No, see, it depends on like see, it's not me who ideally, not only me who interviews you. Right? There will be multiple
Mhm.
interviewing panels, and we don't know like what is actually being asked to you by everybody. We'll set the standards. Okay, when you want to have people, we'll set the standards. Okay, this is what we expect from so and so person when we are interviewing
Mhm.
so and so position. This is what we
Mhm.
need from people. And if that person meets meets that expectation, we can take that
Mhm.
person in. That's what we do.
Mhm.
So we leave to that particular interviewing person, like to or like the interviewer to like ask any question, but that person should satisfy that criteria is what we. So you can ask any
Mhm.
question. So the interviewing, like the person who is interviewing, like
Mhm.
as an interviewer, I am taking interview. I think like okay, I need to ask so and so DSA question, then only I can evaluate that person. Then that will
Mhm.
be coming in. There is no other go.
Okay. So one more question we are getting, like regarding the work-life balance, service-based versus product-based, which is better in work-life balance?
Both are great. It all depends on your team. It all depends on your team and your day-to-day work.
And manager.
I cannot. Yeah, when you say team, it includes everybody. It includes your manager, your manager's
Mhm.
manager, your people you're reporting to you, everybody. It includes as a team. So if you're having a great
Mhm.
manager, then you are very lucky, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what matters. Yeah.
So the very common question: will AI replace us?
Not sure. I don't. I would say no at this moment because AI can enhance a lot of things. So whatever you do today, AI can enhance by 30%, 40%, 50%, like that. That's what I feel. But you cannot replace what humans does because AI is built by humans only, and human brains can do wonders. That's what I believe always. So there will be something new coming up. So human brains will do something, do wonders every time. But I won't think it will replace every other job. Not sure.
So
That's what my
Elon
thought is.
Musk, Elon Musk already created robots like they can walk like human, they are talking like humans. So I believe in your place or my place, maybe in future they will code. Not sure.
So he's a great person. He's a great techno visionary person. So if he has done something, he might have a vision. Let him implement it.
Hmm.
But not. If you ask me, I don't think so. But I
Hmm.
am not sure about the future today. Oh, sorry, tomorrow.
Hmm.
Let's see what we have for tomorrow. But what I would say to everybody is like upskill yourselves, because there are a lot of things in this world that human can only do,
I
and we
believe
have
like
seen that.
by the time this situation will come, we both will be retired. So we are
Okay,
safe.
let's see. Not like that, but still, there are a lot of people coming like after us, right? So if they seek us as mentors, or like if they take advice from us, we have to guide them in the right way.
Mhm.
So I would say to
Mhm.
everybody is like upskill yourselves, be
Mhm.
like technically strong and every like behaviorally strong, and be up to the market. And then
Mhm.
I think there is always a job for you.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I am checking more questions. We have many
Yep.
questions.
Please.
People are
Yep.
taking much interest. So this one we can pick. Some organization expecting machine learning skills, whether it's required to ramp up for automation tester.
Mm, a few organizations I have seen that,
Mhm.
but if you know the basics of ML and a few concepts about it, or if you can just read about LLMs, large language models, and all, it would be great. So as I said, if whenever some things are coming to the market, please try to learn about it. It will always help
Mhm.
you. It's not like that you will be asked to do that the very next day you join in. No, but the thing is like whenever you know about it, you will get to be in the market, and you can be in sync with others. Because a very good
Mhm.
example is cloud. So if you
Uh-huh.
ask like 10 years before or 14 years before, cloud was not in the picture. But
Mhm.
emerging, like after a while, cloud came into the picture and has now be the most prominent thing in today's world. Like everywhere is
Mhm.
cloud. So, but if
Mhm.
you know cloud, you know what is actually happening around you. It's not like you will be deploying, like as a Q engineer, you might not be deploying the application in cloud, but you get to know how what you mean by a deployment in cloud, or what's a cloud platform, what are the
Mhm.
services your application is using. Because
Mhm.
tomorrow you might be asked to test the quality of a cloud component that actually is used in the project. So in that
Mhm.
case, you should be able to take it up. You could not say like, oh, hey, I don't know cloud, so I
Mhm.
can do it. And that's not a
Mhm.
good thing, because you need to know what is actually happening around you. So being a QA professional, you need to know everything that's happening around the application or product that you're working in. That would be
Mhm.
the SRE part, the DevOps part, development part. You should know what's actually happening. Then only you can actually
Mhm.
contribute to the quality of it. It's not
Mhm.
just like testing the requirements. There is way more beyond that in today's world.
Mhm. Okay. So we are getting one more question. Please share the roadmap to the architect role. QA architect, I think he mean QA architect role.
So a one-liner, as I start with always, be a problem solver.
Okay.
Solve all the problems that comes
Mhm.
to you. If you are able
Mhm.
to solve that, then you are a great architect, I would say. If you
Mhm.
can provide the concrete solutions, you are able to, and if you can just
Mhm.
implement a few of them, if like there is
Mhm.
nobody else to take it up, then I think you are a great architect. And I think mostly in today's era, we have the concept called as engineering managers, and engineering managers are purely doing the same part as I believe, because they provide solutions, they code in whenever necessary, and they handle the team also. So
Mhm.
that's what I think. And to add on to that part, I think to become a QA architect, I think today we have to be proficient in one programming language for sure. You should be able
Mhm.
to understand the code in multiple languages. You
Mhm.
should be aware of most of the automation tools in the market, libraries in the market. You should be good in any CI/CD tool like Jenkins or
Mhm.
GitLab CI or anything. You should be good in
Mhm.
Docker. If you are able to understand, if you're able to do Kubernetes part, that's great. And you should be good in cloud concepts too. So if you're able to achieve these things, then I think you are fit for as an architect. Yeah.
So Kubernetes point you mentioned. So one of my senior, he's from UKG, Kronos. Earlier, I
Mhm.
think Kronos was his name. So he mentioned me the same. Like he was giving interview. He has more than 10 plus years, 10 plus years of experience. So company was asking Kubernetes. So in Kubernetes,
Kubernetes.
like according to you, like how much knowledge should we have? Like it's like basic. We can run our test case on Kubernetes or like in depth.
So in depth, I don't think so, because see, the thing is,
Mhm.
like, if your project needs you to run your test case in Kubernetes pods, then you should be in a position to take it up. That's what, because
Mhm.
you are having some issues and in the infrastructure part, and if you want to
Mhm.
implement K8 or Kubernetes, then you should be in a position to take it up. Or like, that person might be asked that question because that team is currently seeking somebody who can run their automation tests in the Kubernetes part. That's why that
Mhm.
question might come in. So mostly in interviews, this is one more
Mhm.
thing. Like, mostly the questions that come to you will be the real time questions that is actually the team has
Mhm.
went through. So
Mhm.
that's why people, that person might have got that question. Yeah.
Mhm. So one debatable question we will ask now from Ashwin.
Please, please.
So will Playwright replace Selenium coming
Uh,
forward?
if I want to answer that question, so Playwright, sorry, Selenium has been in the market for 2 decades. Lot of tools were are there. Still, Selenium is there. So I'm not
Mhm.
sure that it will replace, but Selenium has its own fan base and people who
Mhm.
really go into that. Playwright being a like recent tool developed by Microsoft, I believe. So it's doing great, but I don't think it would replace. I'm not sure. To my knowledge as of today, I'm not sure it would replace, but
Mhm.
uh, anything can happen tomorrow. But I don't think as of now. That's what I think, because there are a lot of, because I think in 2004 is when Selenium was introduced by a person who was
Yeah.
working for Thoughtworks. Then until
Mhm.
now, like, Selenium is there in the market, right? People are using Selenium.
Like earlier,
So
Cypress came. I think few more
yeah,
tools came. They said
yeah,
that Selenium will go away, but it will still be there in the
right.
market.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because see, the people who are working behind Selenium will also ensure that Selenium is also the top tool in
Mhm.
the market, right? Like every other tool. So they will also
Mhm.
build the, like, tool B will build and tool C will be built. So every tool or everything that is in the market will have its own fan base. Very simple.
Mhm.
Can compare it to the language. You have like lot of programming languages, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that one programming language is replaces the other, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's the
agree.
same concept. It's the same
Like
concept.
many people assume that no one use C programming languages, but
Yeah,
still there are many companies, they are doing
yeah,
lot of work on C programming language. It's not obsolete.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
So,
think mostly embedded
mm,
companies use C programming, I believe.
yeah, I think so. I'm not sure
Yeah.
very much. So, Ashwin, like, what is your favorite tool, automation tool, which you think that if I ask you, like, there is a new project, which tool you will pick for the automation, web automation, I'm talking about.
So that is not a one line answer, because
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of criteria you have to take a look into, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things, because you need to see your functionality, like what is the
Mm-hmm.
functionality you have to automate. You need to see the technical proficiency of your team members at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you have to see, like, you have, if you have an integration part, like for example, you have already like so and so CI/CD tool, will the particular tool that you're going to choose will fit in there. Lot of things you
Mm-hmm.
have to check, and also the community support of that tool is very very important.
Yeah.
Like how
Agree.
much, if it's an open source tool, the community support should be very high, because
Mm-hmm.
in case if there are like there is an update, or there's like you have a plugin support, there comes an update, your entire test automation should not block you too, because there's an open issue from that particular tool or
Mm-hmm.
technology, and it
Mm-hmm.
actually stops your I mean, if you work, then that's not a good choice. So there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of factors, and I think you have to do a few R&D, and you might come up with 2 or 3 tool tech combination, and
Mm-hmm.
after that maybe you can pick the one which actually suits you. So I think without doing a POC, you should not actually confirm one. That's what I would say.
So in short, like what I understood, like discuss with your team members what they want as well. It's not like what I want.
No,
It
no,
does
no,
not matter that
absolutely.
I know playwright, then I will force everyone to work on playwright.
No. So see, you can see again playwright. So if you want, you can use playwright, but make sure that you can use playwright until your entire test automation
Hmm.
journey. That ownership you have to take.
So you mentioned one thing about community support. I remember, like we all know, like Selenium with Java has a very large community support. So what I did, like a few years back, I did one POC. So that POC I need to do on Selenium with C sharp for the first time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
first of all, I did not get any proper YouTube video which is explaining it. If it was there, then it was very old. Like I was getting lot of errors, and even in the Stack Overflow, like I was not able to find the answers of my errors. But with the Selenium with Java, it has a strong community support. So I was within a single click, everyone is writing that on the Stack Overflow that this is the solution of that error. So the point you made, like regarding the community support, which is I think very much important while choosing a particular automation tool.
Right. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
see, to your organization, you are proposing, okay, this particular tool or tech is the great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when there is a issue coming up to the tool, you cannot tell to your organization, okay, this but there's an open issue in that particular tool, that's why we cannot go for it. Because no, because
Yeah.
you took the ownership. So when you take
Yeah.
an ownership, you have to own it completely, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to solve it. Then only you can go ahead. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot tell the organization, okay, there's an open issue. Then that question will come to you, why haven't you thought about it? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
not about just doing the things of today. You have to
Mm-hmm.
anticipate things coming that could come in the future. That's
Mm-hmm.
very, very important,
Okay.
because that is
So,
actually, as a great person, you have to follow. Yeah.
mm-hmm. One more important question: how to learn playwright, and in which language we should learn the playwright?
So again, YouTube videos. You have enough YouTube videos to go on. So go
Mm-hmm.
to any of the YouTube channels and start learning with JavaScript or TypeScript. Either is fine, not at all a problem. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
learn Playwright, then either is fine. Go to that particular YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
understand the basics, try to
Mm-hmm.
write out the very first raw code of like using Playwright, that particular
Mm-hmm.
language, automate one small, take up a website, go into one text box, input something, and then click on a button. That's it. So if you're able to do that, then I think you get the foundation of Playwright correct. Then I think gradually you can move into the framework architecture part.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about YouTube videos. Like one thing I would recommend is like see that YouTube video n number of times until you
Mm-hmm.
feel yourself confident that you got the grip completely into it. Don't just go for the namesake. Yeah.
So, regarding that playwright question, like where to learn, I'm remembering few YouTube channels. Okay, so I can name few, like you guys can note it down. Like one channel is from the Naveen Automation Labs, very popular channel. So he has created good videos on playwright with Java, but I will not recommend to do with Java, because when I am getting the Naukri calls, s- recruiter asking me, playwright with JavaScript or TypeScript, not with Java. So better do with JavaScript or TypeScript. So, and one more thing, like one is like Naveen Automation channel, second is Let Code with Koshik. So he has prepared around 100 videos, I guess. So that is also a very good channel, you can learn for free. And the third is like from the Udemy course. We all know, like in Udemy, there is one popular trainer, Rahul Shetty. So you can also purchase his course. Okay. So that is also a very good course. So it's up to you. So in JavaScript or TypeScript, Ashwin, what do you suggest? JavaScript or TypeScript on?
Uh, Both are equally good.
Yeah.
I don't see difference in both. But if you have a JavaScript playwright and TypeScript playwright, you can get a job easily in today's date. That's what I would say.
Because like in TypeScript, the main purpose is for the thread safety, right? Sorry,
Right.
not thread safety, like type safety, I guess, if I'm not spelling the
Uh,
wrong word.
Okay, so what I would say is like just try to do the JavaScript playwright combo and the TypeScript playwright combo. I think as
Mm,
an engineer, you have to decide which you have to choose. So it doesn't go with the markets, like what the market says. You, because your project is only to you, like you only know your project or your product. So do your POC, and
mhm,
you find, like you decide what you have to take up forward.
mhm,
So if you think JavaScript playwright is good for you, go ahead. If you think TypeScript playwright is good for you, go ahead. Or
mhm,
if you don't think both are not good, go with the third option.
mhm,
So I think it's
mhm,
you who has to decide, like the person who does it, because we cannot actually comment on it. Because we cannot comment on it like, oh, you have to go with this. It will suit for every other application in this world. No,
mhm,
it purely depends on the application. So
mhm.
that person can do it. Yeah.
So this question is properly for Ashwin, as Ashwin is also managing many people under him. So what are the key qualities you will look for, or we should
So
have, like? Yeah.
okay. So first and foremost thing, problem solving. You have to solve the problems.
Mhm.
So that doesn't mean technical problems. The
Yeah.
problem that arises within your team and with multiple teams, or
Mhm,
like every other. So ideally, you have to fill the gaps. There could be a lot
mhm,
of gaps coming in every day in your day-to-day work. You have to fill
mhm,
that gaps is what you have to do as a leader. Then, and if you're able to bring new or creative things into
mhm,
the market or into the organization that could shape
mhm,
the future, then I think you are a great leader. I think the greatest leaders of today have built innovative products which have changed the face of today's world.
mhm.
So that's it.
Okay. So great info. So someone is saying great info. So guys, please put your questions over the chat. I see many people are not putting; they are just watching. So I would request everyone, if you have any kind of questions, Ashwin is here to help you. And what else we have? Uh, okay, this one is also a good question. What is the percentage of automation in every company? Mostly they demand 70% manual and 30% automation. I think it's
It
reverse
depends.
these days. Not sure.
No, no. There is one thing in that because it depends on the time when you're getting on board to that particular project. For example,
Okay.
if you're already that if the product is getting built and you have framework and test cases are running, but you need
No.
one more engineer to support it, then I think 70% automation and 30%
Uh,
manual. But if it's like a
mm,
product is getting built from scratch, there's no automation, the entire UI is getting like starting in, then I think you will have to do some manual testing. Then only you can
mhm.
get into automation. So it depends on in which phase of the project you're getting in. So it depends on
Okay.
that particular part. Yep.
So yeah, I think you are very much right, because if the project is starting from the scratch, like you need to build a framework, so definitely they will expect you to have great automation skills. But if the
Correct.
project is already built, like it's like 10 plus years they are running the same code, they are running the framework on Selenium, so I think at that time they might not ask, because it's already everything is built already. They just want to add new keywords and test cases.
Or
So
else one more thing is
Mhm,
like as you
mhm,
said, just starting to that point, you have a 10 plus year old framework, and if you they want they to switch from say tool A combination to tool B combination, then that's
mhm,
a big task. We will be having like
mhm,
5,000, 6,000, or 7,000 test cases. You have to
mhm.
get into a new framework. That would be the, like it will be like 90% of automation and just 10% of functional testing, I would say.
Mhm.
And that requires a pretty good expertise, I would say. Yeah.
So one more question again. As I'm doing the automation on my daily work, as per the job market, we can see roles like QA, SDAT, QA automation engineer, very much true. Automation engineer. Still a lot of more names slash for QA. Okay. Currently, for
Mhm.
which role we can go if we have 4 year of automation? Very good
So
question.
ideally, the role that fits your skill set is what you have to go. That is the
Mm-hmm.
only answer I have given because if you want to be the best out of it, then I would say acquire as many skills as you want, or else you
Mm-hmm.
can just go for that particular job which actually matches your skill set. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
asking for a 4 year experience automation engineer, you should be good in one tool tech combination. Again, let's take an example, Java Selenium. You should be decent in Git. Git is very, very important. I think a lot of people miss that, but Git is very, very important. You need
GitHub.
to
Okay. Yeah. Git and GitHub. Hmm.
Git. It could be GitHub, GitLab, or even
Yeah.
Bitbucket, but you need to know the concept of Git, like what do you mean by pull, push, rebase, everything. Because
Hmm.
ideally, you you write some code, you push it, you make sure that like
Hmm.
others code is not actually affected. So those things are very much.
Hmm.
So you have to. So if you can actually be pretty proficient in Git, that is a great plus point. Mostly
Hmm.
people don't expect that to be done, but that's very important. Git
Hmm.
is very important. So Java Selenium should be there. So that person should be able to write good Selenium code. Should be able to write a few helper methods if needed. Should be good in Git. Should be able to understand what is meant by a pipeline,
Hmm.
at least an idea on what is Docker,
Hmm.
and just the basic agent cloud. I think a 4 year experienced automation engineer should be good to go.
So Ashwin, like many people are asking the questions, I have one question from you. That is personal, my question. Like
Please.
regarding this one only, like he mentioned that different roles are available. So which role you should target? So what I think, like Ashwin, correct me, like if I'm wrong, that company will decide you which role they want to give you once you will get hired. You cannot decide anything. What do you think about that?
So ideally, I would say it's not on the title; it's on the job description. That's what
Yeah.
matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you see like great tech companies, they'll tell only like quality assurance engineer, but they'll ask great coding questions.
Hmm.
Correct. But there could be other companies who will be like software engineering test, but they will ask
Hmm.
very basic coding questions. So it's not on the title; it's on your job description. Like what actually that company or that role needs from you is what matters. Title, like
Like,
I would
hmm,
say, sorry. The thing is,
no
like you can
problem.
just go to the job description and see if
Hmm.
that is like something what you want to do in the future. Then I think you have
Hmm.
to go for it. You can
Like
just
in one of my previous companies, Ashwin, like
yeah.
I joined as a some different role, but in between after 6 months they changed the position of the title. title they
Okay.
have changed mine. So for my experience,
Okay.
it says that you cannot decide, company will decide.
Not really, because I haven't seen a company changing your title.
Mm-hmm.
Only until and unless there is an organizational change for entire roles,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
possible. But if you're asking me on a, like a how for which job you have to apply in today's market, I would say don't go for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Go for the particular job description.
Go for the job description and go for the more salary.
Yeah, no, salary, see, it all depends on you. If you're happy with today's salary, you're fine. If you're not happy, go for the higher one. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on people's perspective. Everybody's perspective is different. There are a lot of people who have been in the same company for 20, 25 years. I know people. But there are people who have like switched every 2, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
There, it's all about people's perspective, right? What they want to do and what they don't want to do. So if you want to get great money, go go to the go to the company which pays you the best. Or if you're happy with what you have today, you can stay in the same place. It's all up to you.
So one very good question, I would say. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Jobish Jose asked, I am working as a automation tester, individual contributor, and our application is having recently changed
Mm-hmm.
VOLTDB, VoltDB, okay, VoltDB to the Redis, and my
And
SQL is also going to change. My manager is asking me to do something to get the regression results by running overnight. Okay, how can I make her understand that things will don't happen overnight? Very good question, I would say. Ashwin, what do you suggest?
so the first and foremost thing is like whenever you're planning regression, right? You should always have that plan B with you. Never like see automation is something which an engineer should start on from day one. Should think
Oh.
about it. It's not like when somebody asks you, then only you have to think about automation. Or like because regression is
Mm-hmm.
something. See, whenever you have a like at least one patch release, then that test cases come back to the regression that regression folder or what a regression band. So when you
Mm-hmm.
have a regression test case band coming up, you should think about automation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like just don't wait for. I'm not. Please don't get offended, but that's the fact. Please make sure that your regression test cases are into automation as soon as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say like whenever you have something already like one patch went in and the next patch is in the process of deployment, you should
Mm-hmm.
always have that the patch which went in as a, already as a automation suite which should run on a cron job basis or on a demand
Mm-hmm.
basis. So that has to be implemented. So people, the thing is that nobody asks you to do automation. It's your choice like whether you when to start the automation. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
start it today, you can be like because if you build the regression suite correct completely, right? You can just
Mm-hmm.
sit relaxed. You can just trigger it and sit relaxed. It will do the job for you, and you will get the result because people need to know the result in very quick amount of time. That's why we build automation, and we need to know we need to know the application's health.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. That has to be there. So when this person's, I would recommend to this person is like you're going from one particular DB to the new DB. So the where is going to change. If that takes a bit of like if that's something which is not a charted, you have to propose a
Mm-hmm.
plan. This is what we have at the moment, and this is what it will take for me to build it, and this is what is the result I'm going to achieve. That's the
Mm-hmm.
main important part. It's not like just don't tell the fact that okay I need so and so time to do this. If I do so and so things in so and so time, I'll be able to receive some great results. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
have to do. Then I think you'll be given some time to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Might be that person's higher manager might have thought like that automation or like that reduction part has
Mm-hmm.
already been there. I'm not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
or else I would recommend to start that. I would recommend to start as soon as possible.
Okay. So, okay, one more question.
Please.
Is it good to get a job in current market? Okay. So, Pinak Umate, he's asking, like, I'm learning REST assured with Java. It is good to
Mhm.
get a job in the current market. I am doing it through the YouTube channel by SDT Pavan. So, I think you are doing from the very good channel. That's for sure. SDT Pavan. So, Ashwin, like, currently, if I do only REST assured, will I get the job? Only REST assured.
Depends. It depends on your experience, Sumit.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you're like a 2 year experience engineer, rest assured Java should be fine for you
Hmm.
because you will be just one of the contributing junior engineers in the team. Correct.
Hmm.
But if you're a 12 plus year experience or 14 plus year experienced engineer who is
Huh.
just having rest assured plus Java, and that will be a bit tough because that's not what is expected. So ideally, as I said, it's all the expectation that the job has from you. So that it's like they're expecting a very junior engineer with just a short with Java who can contribute a test case to the current framework, or even as I said, like writing a few helper methods. That should be that should suffice it. But if it's like as you grow or if you climb up the ladder, add as many things as you can. That will help you in every way, because learning is always an investment. It will help you in every other way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So
So
I
it
would
depends
suggest
on Pinak's
Pinnacle.
experience. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
please.
Sorry.
No, no, please. You can continue.
No, it would experience. It would depend on Pinak's experience.
Uh,
So if Pinak want to I'm not sure like what's Pinak's experience, but if it's a junior engineer role, that should help you. But if it's a senior engineer role, I would recommend you to have more things in your bucket.
okay. So I would also suggest Pinnacle, like better to learn multiple things, not only one, because right now expectations is very much higher. They are expecting everything, even from freshers. I came to know. So
Yeah.
just try to do Selenium Playwright, API automation, manual API automation as well. So let us pick. Uh, yeah, this is also a good question. How much percentage of job is available for the robot framework in the current market?
Python, with Python, right? Python
Yeah,
robot,
yeah.
correct?
Hmm.
Uh, if you ask me the percentage, I'm not sure, but that there is
Hmm.
always a chance. There is a chance. Again,
Hmm.
it would be just one part of the job, right? So as I said, it's just
Hmm.
one part of the job, and
Hmm.
it is if it's the only requirement, then I think you can filter it out.
Hmm.
But if you are
Hmm.
like, as I said, it depends on an experience. So
Hmm.
if you are a senior engineer with just Python robot with you, I
Hmm.
don't think that would be a great place to be in, because you need to have more things. Because people expect, because I
Hmm.
don't think like Python robot will be the only part in the job description. There could be much more
Hmm.
things, right? So
Hmm.
if you have all the things in the job description, you'll be able to get it. So, but if you're only like currently with Python robot,
Hmm.
then I think if you're a junior engineer, okay, you should be fine to an extent. But if
Hmm.
you are growing, I think please add more things. As I said, always go with the concepts.
Hmm.
It's not like
So,
just one tool or tech combination.
so maybe I can add little bit more, because currently I am working on the robot framework in my current company. So what I checked, like in the Naukri.com, like I have mentioned multiple keywords just to check like whether I'm getting what kind of calls I'm getting. So I can share my experience. So I mentioned Selenium, I mentioned Playwright, robot framework. I also mentioned UiPath. I also mentioned JMeter. I also mentioned in the Naukri.com I'm talking about. So most of the calls which I receive, like I think I'm trying with more than 6 months. I am just trying to look at that what kind of calls I'm getting. So around 6 months. Not a single call I received on the robot framework. The
Oh,
calls which I am receiving is Selenium Java, Playwright with JavaScript or TypeScript, and the rest assured. Sometimes
okay.
JMeter as well, they are asking. But robot framework till now I have not get any call. But that is a very good tool. Like it's free and open source. Like you don't need to write much code. Just you need to create like click. You need to click. Just use the click keyword. Just you need to wait for an element. Just say wait until the element is visible, like that. So I don't know like why people are not using it. It's their choice. But according to me, Selenium and the Playwright will have more jobs. So
Uh,
focus on that.
could be one more point I would like to add here is like I could see I wouldn't mention the company, but there are a few consulting companies who are hiring for robot. I just saw Naukri
Mhm,
because I'm not sure about they might have been existing framework built on Python, but
mhm,
yeah, as if you're not getting calls, then I'm not
mhm,
sure. But I have seen a few job posts, so yeah,
mhm.
it would help. But still, I would say to that person, if you're not getting that particular, get into the next one.
Yeah. So one more question. Three very common question happens with everyone most of the time. Like I have 3 years experience in the manual and automation, but not getting the calls. What to do?
Okay, so it depends. So the very first key to your job application is your LinkedIn profile and your resume. Please have a
Mhm,
look into that. That
mhm,
is where from people get to know what kind of a person you are and what are the technical capabilities you have. So if you
mhm,
don't have that particularly portrayed in your resume or in your LinkedIn profile,
mhm,
then people won't reach out to you because they don't know like such a person exists with that particular skill set. Right? So you need to know that. You need to ensure that others are able to see you
mhm,
and also in their visibility. So please make sure that you are visible to others. So
mhm,
for that, you need to have your resume tailored, and your LinkedIn profile, the headline
Mhm.
in your LinkedIn profile should have all these things. Then only I think people will search, they'll get to know like such a person is existing and such a person needs a job, right? Yeah.
Mhm. So one thing like I also want to ask, like Amit, I believe that he is applying on the Naukri.com. He has not written it where he is applying. So Ashwin, like when we use Naukri.com, like I used to hear this a lot. I'm still hearing like update your profile before 10 a.m. Like you just downloaded your resume on the Naukri portal from the Naukri portal and re-uploaded the resume. So this will index your profile on the top to the HR. Is it true or is it's just a myth? What do you think?
If you ask me, I would say it's true
Oh, true.
from my
Okay,
experience.
because I've
Yeah.
seen that.
No, it's from my experience. So the thing is like it's
Huh.
very simple. See, again, like see, there is an algorithm in Return on Naukri or any other hiring portal. So, see, as long as if you're not active on a portal, people won't know whether you are like actively there. Because when you actually engage with the portal, then
Hmm.
only people know okay such a person is actively engaging, that person is looking for such and such position, or if you're
Hmm.
staying low, nobody will get to
Hmm.
know, right? So I
Hmm.
would say like because morning 10 a.m is because everybody starts a job at 10 a.m, that's the time.
Hmm.
But one good thing
Hmm.
is like everybody you can just update your profile on a day-to-day basis
Hmm.
somewhere before 10 a.m, just
Hmm.
re-upload your resume on a day-to-day basis and start
Hmm.
applying like 3 to 4 jobs on a day-to-day basis. That should float your profile on the top.
So Amit has mentioned that he's using Naukri.com as well as he's also purchased Naukri Premium. So Amit, I also purchased Naukri Premium just to try, but it was waste of money, I would say. On camera, I'm saying it. Like earlier, I was getting more calls, but after I purchased the premium, I started to get less calls. So that happened with me. So I will not suggest anyone to purchase premium plan.
Yeah,
You can
right.
just what I can do, Ashwin, like correct me like if you do the same like on the Naukri there is one section of keywords. So
Yeah.
what I do like suppose there is one suppose I don't know playwright although I know it but suppose I don't know playwright. So what I will do to get the calls, I will try to mention multiple keywords like I will mention Selenium,
Yeah.
I know API automation, I know Cypress, I know, but suppose playwright I don't know. So what we should try, like just do the 10 videos of playwright or 15 videos, at least have some login test case working. Now mention in the Naukri.com. So this will what will happen like if you mention multiple keywords, I think chances of getting the calls will be high because what I've seen like mostly sometimes recruiters don't expect that you have the in-depth knowledge of the tool. At least you should know the basics. It should not be like you don't know anything what is playwright. So I would suggest Amit like mention the multiple keywords and update your notice to 15 days. Ashwin, what do you think about this?
Uh, Updating the notice, I'm not sure because if your notice is literally 90 days and if you put 15 days, I don't think that would work for you because you have to join back in 15 days. You cannot see. I would say like better say the truth than saying a lie because that won't actually help you in any ways. What I would say because if you are notice which is 90 days,
Mhm,
you can say it's 90 days, but it's negotiable too because you have leaves or any other factor or your
mhm,
hiring manager, like your current manager, is ready to release you, but never say
mhm,
it's 15 days because 15 days and 90 days is way, way, uh, I mean, having a big gap. So I
mhm,
don't think that will help you. But what I would say is like if your profile is like sound and if your profile you have enough number of skills, I
mhm,
think people will like people are ready to do it for you. So one more thing is like okay, if you win the interview, right, people
mhm,
will be ready to accept your terms. Or if
mhm,
they win the interview, you will have to
mhm,
accept their terms.
mhm.
That's what it is.
So one good question like, what are your views on 70 or 90 hours? So Ashwin, do you work 90 hours?
I had worked 90 hours and even
Oh
more
really?
in my yeah, I had worked.
Uh-huh.
So, but not every day. Then it
Sometimes.
would be tough because health is something which you have to have. And if you don't
Mm,
have health, I think you'll be better than nobody will be there to take care of you. So health is very much important for you to work every day. So
mhm,
the thing is like I think you are given only work which ideally requires like 8 or 10 hours per day at the max to
mhm,
complete.
mhm,
90 hours work week, I'm not sure whether that is ideally possible. Like 90 hours in that is like 16 hours
mhm,
per day. That is something which you have to like work. I'm not sure because maybe there are like,
mhm,
great founders and great people who have worked like that so that they have some excellent companies running in the market which actually
mhm,
define which is like the top notch company in the world. But every employee working 90 hours a week, I'm not sure like is that possible, because ideally it depends on each person's mindset. If a person is ready to work 90 hours a week, that person should work. But if a person is not ready to work 90 hours a week, we should not push that person, because ideally it will, if it will drain that person's health, that's not a good thing. Yeah.
So one more question we are getting, that this person is having 13 plus years of experience, whether I need to choose a testing manager role or the test architect. Which one is, what is the difference like?
So it depends on that company, because there's I see. Please don't understand the fact that when you say test man, it's not just managing the testing activity. You have to be technically sound and you have to jump into technical issues. So I would recommend you to be as a QA engineering manager, where you are doing people management, you're taking care of your team or teams. Also, you are solving all your technical problems, any problem. So I would recommend to go in that particular path, because being a sole people manager or a project manager in testing, just in testing alone, I'm not sure whether that would be a great choice. But I think technically you have to be sound. You need to know what's actually happening around you, because ideally things are all everything is wrong code. So you need to know what is actually happening. So you have to have a mix of both. That's what I would say.
So Bharat, if you have any questions after this, maybe you can connect with Ashwin on the LinkedIn. He
Yeah,
can guide you more.
very much welcome. Very much welcome.
Yeah. So one very important question is how to ask for referral. Like, what is the correct way to reach someone on LinkedIn? If you can explain, Ashwin,
Sure.
over to you.
So to ask for a referral, there are multiple things you need to have. First and foremost thing is like the job ID. Because I
Hmm.
have seen a lot of people reaching out to me. Can you refer me for a Java Selenium opening in your company? I don't know whether how many Java Selenium opening are there, right? So I cannot. But I try to reply back to every telling this is not the way you have to ask for a referral. But after that, I don't see people responding back. I'm not sure
Hmm.
why. But the
Hmm.
very first thing is like the job ID and your company, your
Hmm.
CV, the updated CV, and your contact details, and why you
Hmm.
think you are fit for that particular. These things are very important, because when
Hmm.
somebody is referring you, you are telling you are like the person who is referring you is telling to a hiring manager like, okay, I know this person, or like I think this person might be a fit for the role you are hiring,
Hmm.
because I am endorsing you. and
Hmm.
and if I don't know that person, like I haven't worked with that person, I should know, I should tell why I think that person is a fit for that role, right? So I should know that what
Hmm.
that person is all having all about, because there are few options. I think if you one of the options is like I have worked with this person, the option would be
Hmm.
like I have reviewed this person's resume and I find this person would be a fit, or else I think this person's skill set is correct, like that. So you need to have a solid understanding why this person is a fit, and why are you
Hmm.
recommending, because you are recommending that
Hmm.
person to your organization, and the hiring
Hmm.
manager might think like, okay, the person who is referring is part of my organization, and that
Hmm.
person might think this person is a great fit. So you should
Hmm.
have all these details. Otherwise, if you just send random messages, nobody will entertain, because you will get a number of messages. But the thing is that if you have a proper template, people will ideally think about it and will refer you. That's how I refer, because I try to reach out to everybody who
Hmm.
respond messages to me telling me this is not the way you have to ask for referral, because
Hmm.
you need, because I cannot know which job they want me to refer, right? So
Hmm.
that's the way you have to have contact details, your resume, your job ID, and the particular like job description,
Hmm.
and why do you think you're a great fit for the role? Yeah,
You are very much right, Ashwin, on to that. Like as you mentioned, job ID is very much necessary because what happens, like suppose you must be getting 100 plus messages daily, and if 100 people will say, Ashwin, can you refer me at your company? Can you? Is there any job in your company? So what
absolutely.
Ashwin will need to do, like he needs to open his Cisco portal, Cisco job portal 100 times, and he will search like, is there any opportunity for that person? So this will be like frustrated for everyone, not for Ashwin. So better we can have some job ID, some brief description about us, and the resume, right, Ashwin?
Absolutely, spirit. Because I know, like, looking for
Mm-hmm.
job is a very tough part. It's a very challenging part. But unless and until you are not reducing the time the other person
Mm-hmm.
needs to take for you, it won't
Mm-hmm.
help actually. Because people see, the thing is like, if you're asking, see, ideally when you ask a referral, it's like you're asking somebody to do something for you. So if you
Mm-hmm.
make things easier for that person, it
Yeah.
would be great. But if you make things much more harder for that person, it would be a bit tough.
I got
So
one message like, "Hi Sumit bro, can you please refer me?" Now,
I,
how I would
I
know
I
my
need to check my
profile?
LinkedIn portal. I need to check my LinkedIn message. Mostly I get this. Can you refer me? Do you have a job
Yeah.
opening at all? Yeah. But I
So,
take a time, like I take at least 1 hour a day to respond
huh.
back to people, because if people don't get response, they'll get they'll get disheartened. I don't want people to get disheartened, but I'll tell like this is not the way to
Hmm.
ask for a referral. You have to have these many things. Then only I can refer
Hmm.
you. And whoever have given me the deals, I have referred. If I find that people are fit for that particular job, I have
Hmm.
referred people. Yes.
Hmm. So one more good question. I am hearing this question for the first time actually. Selenium with Ruby. Okay. I don't have experience, but they will teach me from scratch. That's a good thing. My skill set is Selenium with Java. Should I go for it?
Uh,
What do you think?
Ruby is used in some places, I know,
Hmm.
but I think that there
Hmm.
is an existing framework that was already built on Ruby and Selenium. That's why that company
Hmm.
needs somebody. So if you think that company, just inquire about that company. If you think that company's values match with you, that company's pay is great for you,
Hmm.
that company has
Hmm.
good culture, everything, and if you think you want to learn Ruby, and if you
Hmm.
think you need to like, get into that company, I would say go for it. It's all
Hmm.
it again depends on particular. It's not just about the technology. It's about that
Hmm.
particular company's values and cultures, everything, right? So if you think that's fit for you, go ahead.
Hmm.
If you know Java, you should be able to learn another language.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
that's a good question. That's a good point. Like if you already know Java, you can go with Ruby. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Christian is worried about like because I what I've seen Selenium with Java has the most number of jobs. Selenium
right.
with Ruby, I'm hearing it for the first time that someone is company is asking Selenium with Ruby as well. So if that is the case, you are worrying about like after 3 years, if I do how I will get the calls. What he can do like learn Selenium with Ruby, and when you go for the interview in the next company, mention you were doing Selenium with Java.
So
Just
see,
like your
one good thing about that is like I would like to add one point. There is a thing is like see, you know Java and know Ruby. That means like you are proficient in two languages.
Hmm.
That means that you can learn another two more languages. So that will actually add a value to you. So
Hmm.
as I said, learning is always an investment. So if
Hmm.
somebody is looking for because see for example tomorrow that could be a requirement like that person should be proficient in two languages. And
Hmm.
if Ragul gets into Ruby and Java, Ragul is a great fit for that job, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Ashwin, regarding resume, I have one good question onto that.
Please.
What should be the length of our resume? 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page. What do you think about that?
One page at the
Okay.
because one page is because see if somebody wants to know about you, as I said,
Hmm.
make things easier for people. So if somebody
Yeah.
wants to know about you, they should get to know about you in very less amount of time. So if a
Hmm.
one page resume can explain everything about you, that's great.
Because what I've seen, like people who are into like 3 years or 4 years, few people message me like for the refer, they are making 3 pages resume. So what happens like even when I was taking interviews in my company, so few people sent me like 3 pages resume. Now interview most of the time it happens like you need to take 3 interviews daily, half an hour each. So you don't have much time to look all the pages. You just say what are the skills they have and few projects they worked on and what is the total years of experience. So I think 1 page is fine, even if we can google on if we, even if we can google it what should be our resume length. So Google will also reply you like 1 or 2 pages, max 2 pages, I will believe. So I think 1 page is fine, Ashwin.
Yeah, one page is fine because if you ask me, just my resume just crossed like one page and two lines for the second page because I had to add two
Oh,
certifications because
oh.
I didn't add my certification in my resume, so just I added that part.
Mhm,
So then only that extra two lines, like two certifications, two
mhm,
lines. So it just
mhm,
crossed one page now. Until
mhm.
that, my resume was always one page.
Oh, nice. So guys, you see Ashwin is having 14 plus years of experience, still he's making 1 page resume. So you
No,
should
because
also
that's the
try
fact.
to.
Yeah, please, Sumit, please go
No,
ahead.
no, please go ahead.
So the thing is like, see, it's not about how much length your resume has. It's all about
Mhm,
like what all things your resume has, right? Because
mhm,
I could see in a few resumes, like mostly like at resume clearing sessions, I could see there will be a big
mhm,
professional experience telling like what that person has done or like in years. Then again, that person will start off with the company one. This is what I did
mhm,
in company one. This is what in company two. And again, next to that, the person will tell the skill set with company one. That's not needed.
mhm,
Just write something only once. Don't repeat the same thing.
mhm,
If that is actually happening, then people, because everybody when they read through a resume, they need to
mhm,
know what is new that is in the next line or the next word. But if you're trying to
mhm,
do the same thing one after the other, like if you see the same movie, the
mhm,
same content, you will get bored, right? So the
mhm,
same part. So
mhm,
you have to like have very things should be very precise and concise so that people get an idea what you have done. And if
mhm,
it's in one, and very good important thing is that people don't quantify their achievements. You have to
Hmm.
quantify what you have done. For example, it's not like I have worked 4 years with Java and Selenium. That's not the way. Everybody works with Java and Selenium. But what
Hmm.
you did as a person in your
Hmm.
company during this
Hmm.
4 years is what matters. You might have automated 1,000 test cases. You might have
Hmm.
you might have written a lot of helper functions.
Hmm.
You might have designed the data flow, whatever it is. But you have to tell
Hmm.
that. Just don't write I have
Hmm.
worked in Java Selenium. That won't actually help you anyway. Yep.
मतलब इन शॉर्ट लाइक जो दिखेगा वो बिकेगा, जितना
That's it.
दिखाओगे अपने स्किल्स, दैट वुड बी मच बेटर.
Absolutely correct.
So Ashwin, regarding resume, I have one question like ATS score. Do you believe like it like
Uh,
it's necessary ATS of 90, ATS of 80 plus? Will that matter?
uh, I am not a personal fan of ATS resumes because
Hmm.
I haven't my resume is not I haven't I created my resume my own. I haven't used any ATS tool for not ATM
Oh,
ATS tool
nice. Still you get
and
call from Google, see?
yeah, so as I say, it all depends on the skill set what you have and how you
Hmm.
place your skill set. It's not about like just the skill set. You have to place the skill set well.
Hmm.
You have to keep it well. You have to keep it well placed. Then only people will get to know because they should get a wow factor when reading a resume.
Hmm.
Then only people
Hmm.
will have a thought like, okay, I should talk to this person.
Hmm.
Otherwise, people they just park your resume. That's what I
Hmm.
till now I haven't used an ATS tool. Maybe I'm not sure about tomorrow, but as of now
Hmm.
I haven't used. So yeah.
So, guys, Ashwin has got calls from many FANG companies and currently is working in big product-based companies as well. And see, he is not using any ATS-friendly resume because I have seen many posts on LinkedIn. They are selling ATS resume for more amount of money. So I would say like skills is the thing which you need to focus on. And one more question I will ask Ashwin. Like we have discussed so many things. So guys, I believe that Ashwin is able to answer all your queries. In case you have any queries from Ashwin, you can connect with the Ashwin. So Ashwin, one final question I will ask you that
Yes.
if someone wants to starts as a QA, what should be his approach? Like roadmap, if you can give for people.
So first and foremost,
Hmm.
testing concepts is very important. You know how to
Okay.
test. You should know how to test. You should know how
Mm-hmm.
to test, what to test. That is the
Mm-hmm.
first and
Okay.
foremost thing, right? If
Hmm.
you don't know that, then there is no point in writing automation code, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the first and basic foundation uh,
Okay.
to start off with. And
Hmm.
then one programming language for sure is needed,
Hmm.
and also one automation tool like Selenium to start off with. As I said, build your
Hmm.
own GitHub project
Okay.
because personal GitHub projects are very important because I should know whether that person is technically capable of like fulfilling my role. So I should know that
Hmm.
before I talk to that person.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I should be able to see some proof. So that is
Mm-hmm.
should be there. So that's the way to start off with. Like you should have an evidence of what you are capable of. That's why GitHub is a great platform. The only thing is you have to market yourself. So you should tell,
Hmm.
okay, I know these many things. That's the way to
Hmm.
start off with. Going like if you're able to learn new things,
Hmm.
please learn it. If you get time to learn new things, learn as many things as you can. It will
Hmm.
always help you. So to
So
start off
one
with one
thing,
language and one
yeah.
tool.
One thing I would to add, like, should we also run JMeter apart from the UI automation
So
or not?
if you can learn JMeter or performance tuning
Hmm.
applications, that's great. So
Hmm.
if you can like, see if you have Java with you, then I would recommend you to learn Selenium and Rust Assured because UI and API are for sure
Hmm.
automated in every company. It's not like just UI
Hmm.
automation, right? UI and
Hmm.
API automation is very much used. So if you know a language, I would recommend you to learn all the libraries associated with that, so that you can actually
Hmm.
excel or you can actually
Hmm.
get into more like more places.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So, guys, I believe that you must have got all the answers of the questions which you have in your mind. In case if it's still sorry to say, like we are not able to pick all the questions because it's like around 1 hour 20 minutes. So, but still, if you have any questions from the Ashwin, you can reach out to Ashwin over this LinkedIn. Okay, you can connect with him personally as well on the top mate if you want. Okay. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. And Ashwin, thank you so much for sharing all the valuable knowledge with us. It was like I also learned many things from you. So, most probably, I will also give interview in Cisco. So, I believe I can take some insights from you as well. So,
Let's
thank
see.
you again, Ashwin, for your words.
Thank you, Sumit. It was a great, it's a great honor to be part of your podcast. I have seen your lot of comments, pause, everything. So it's thank you for calling me, and it was a great time talking to like you and answering a lot of questions. I think I was able to make some change in somebody's life by answering some
Hmm.
questions. So please feel free to reach out to me. I'll try to answer whatever I know. Anytime you
Hmm.
can reach out to me. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much. Bye, Ashwin. Take care. Have a great day.